are we the lifestyle of music, but I dare say we are the lifestyle of entertainment. We are the lifestyle of the lifestyle. We are the spine of entertainment. We are 3 Music TV plus 89.9 FM, on which you're either watching or listening to the Culture Daily Morning Show. My name is Lady Lomote, and you know that it is time for unpacking. Well, for someone who is tuned in to the show for the first time today, we are about to unpack with the director and an actress from the movie Detor, which is to premiere, in the next couple of days, 2 days to be precise. And so to my right, I have Cofie, the director, and then to my left, I have Jennifer Biney, who acted in it. Okay, now Detor or Detor, wherever you're coming from, if you are aware, that's Detor. I was saying that Detor, I think is a short form of Amadetor, which means somebody's own, right? But let's find out more about the film Detor. Hi, gentlemen. Hi, lady.
Hi.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So I'm told that, the Detor movie is set in the 17th century.
Correct.
We are going to, talk about why you even decided to get into that in the first place. But let's start with inspirations, right? The inspiration to do the film Detor.
What's the inspiration? Well, we've done a few movies. We've done short films, we've done long films, and we've been on a few festivals. We've got some accolades. But every time we've been out exhibiting our works, we realize that people are yearning for African stories that tell of the African people. And I realized that we don't do ourselves justice by, talking about our history, who we are, and things like that. So in trying to come up with the next project, which is this one, we did some research, and we found that, we know about Osei Tutu, we know Yas Antua, we know Okonfo, we know some of the obvious stories, but there are some hidden heroes that we don't tend to talk much about.
Right.
And I thought, okay, let's find one of these and create a story around it. And if you like, that was the inspiration behind the story Detor.
Okay, so what are some of the mysteries, and the history behind the movie, if you want to dig into that,
Yeah.
Also because you said that there are some iconic figures that we don't exactly talk about, or even we don't know, right, in the first place, to even talk about them, so if you can get into that.
Sure. So the story is primarily about one of the Ewe heroes called Amega Detor Akplomada. And this hero lived in the 17th century. He lived around the same time as King Agokoli, that some people will be familiar with.
Okay.
And we try to weave the story around the story of King Agokoli, but to bring in this hero, Amega Detor, who was a warrior.
Okay.
He was a hunter. He was a great man for his people. He fathered twins, Achuchala and Echichali.
Okay, hey, I like the name.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And what we are told in the history is that Achuchala moved on to Eukugwa, lived in the palace, and showed off some of his mystical powers. And that's where he met Osei Tutu the First.
Okay.
And when it was time to go back and be king, Osei Tutu went with Achuchala to form what is now the Ashanti Kingdom. But what was interesting is that at the time, he was known as the Okonfu that came from Ngoche.
Oh, so while we had Okonfu Noche, for the Ashantis, we had Achuchala for the Ewes. Is that what it is?
Even more intricate than that. Okay. Achuchala from Ngoche went to the Ashanti land and became the Okonfu there. So he was referred to as the Okonfu of Ngoche. And that became Okonfu Noche. So Okonfu Noche actually is...
It's called Achuchala.
Thank you so much.
Hey! Hey! This is crazy!
You know what I'm saying?
Oh! History is nice! I mean, if you get into it. No, but this is so deep and detailed. Now I want to see the movie. I really want to see the movie. Okay, so for those who didn't get it, right? Last. Detor had 2 children, one of which is Achuchala.
Correct.
Achuchala moves to, the Ashanti Kingdom and becomes known as Okonfa Ofri Nochi, which now becomes Okonfa Nochi.
Straight up.
Wow! I got that, didn't I?
You got it.
I have an A
Spot
for
on,
that.
spot on.
I have an A for that. But Jennifer, being an actress, and then also starring in this, what was that thing that moved you to want to be in, such a historical creative work?
I mean, I have always wanted to be in a film that has the African story. I've
Okay.
always wanted something like that. So when I got the role, I was super excited. All the African wear, how we dress, the local thing, everything was so amazing. I really wanted to be part of that. So when I got it, I was super excited about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now imbibing your character, right? Awume. Awume, right? How was that for you? Because it's a different thing if it's a character you're used to. If it's set in today's world, right? You know what to do, what not to do. But this is historical.
Yes.
So how was it for you going back into the day and then also fully embodying what your character needed to embody?
Okay, so one thing about an actor is you should be able to adjust really quickly. And I'm really happy that I'm able to embody each character very fast. That's something I really get. So
That's nice.
even if you watch the trailer, you see the difference. You'll be like, is this really Jennifer? I was watching myself and I was like, is this me?
No, but that's what a good actor is, you know. So
yes.
yeah.
So I was able to get that really quickly, and I was able to ask director, what does Awumi do? How is Awumi like? I got some directions from director, so it was super easy for me. Yeah.
What were the highs for you, Cofie, in putting, this piece together, Detor together? What were those high points for you that kept you going, that kept ticking your boxes? Yes, I can do it. I have to, let me keep going.
Well, I think getting the invitation to come to 3 Music certainly is the high point. Well, there were very many high moments. The process was very exciting. I had some great performers, a lot of great performers on the project. So any number of activities would be a high point. But I think when we went through the auditions and we started to see some of the talent that we have in our environment, I was actually very surprised. And coming from a situation where we're not organized chaos is not known, people don't really know who we are internally. Externally, we've cleared. I think it's fair to say we've cleared the international market. But coming back home, I was concerned that people wouldn't want to attach themselves to this project.
Right.
But when we saw the auditions and we saw the performers, some of the great names auditioning, I thought, wow, these guys are going to embody, the vision. I wrote the story.
Okay.
So in creating the story, I had a vision of what the people would be like and how they would perform. And when we gave the auditioners the sides to perform, I was like, wow, I mean, these guys actually know their stuff. So I think one of the key main points would be meeting the actors, most of the actors for the first time and seeing them through the audition. And I thought, look, these guys can kill it for us.
Why were you worried about, how the body of work will be accepted?
We are influenced by our environment, and people are in our environment, I'm talking specifically about Ghanaians and possibly Africa, people want to do what others are doing. You know what I mean? So if you mention any of the big names, it's like, oh, okay, I'm happy to associate with that. But if you're an unknown, people are less likely to risk associating with you. You know what I mean? So we've had to do a lot of work, do a lot of projects, and show off our work to say that, look, you don't know of us, but this is the kind of quality we're capable of doing. And then you kind of get around to it. So now with a project like Detor, people are now more comfortable with, okay, these guys, they know what you're doing.
You mentioned, that you've done a few projects. So if you can just, run us through these other projects that you've done, just so that people also know,
Sure.
The scope of work that you've done.
All right. So let me start with a project before Detor,
Yes,
and then
that's
I'll go back
okay.
to the beginning. So before we embarked on the project, I wanted to expand our team, work with new people, and bring in some talent onto the project because, you know, I had a fair idea about the scope of what we wanted to achieve, and our in-house team would be stretched as organized chaos. So, you know, we found some people to partner with. And one of the things I thought would work is to do a short film to test it out. We
Okay.
had new equipment, new lenses, new cameras, new personnel. So we did a film called Captain's Corner.
Okay.
Okay, and with Captain's Corner, there were a couple of people that I had already cast for Detor. Brian Angels is the main character in Detor.
Okay.
So I spoke to him and I said, look, before we do Detor, I want you to do the short film with me, and he was all for it. So we did Captain's Corner. We had a fantastic cinematographer called Kwame Buedi, amazing guy. You know, he partnered our in-house cinematographer, PKMI, who's here with us. And we did a short film. We went out to international festivals in the beginning of 2023, and we've won so many accolades, you know, on international. Thank you so much. You know, best director, best actor, best cinematographer, best editor, you know, best everything. And that was,
nice.
yeah,
That's
we
really
were very happy about that. So that really set the scene for us to then go into Detor. So if you like, that's the last thing. But, you know, my career in film started by executive producing a project for some young guys at the time. This was sometime in 2015, where we did a music dance movie called 1432. I'm sure some of your viewers would probably recognize that name. But 1432, yeah. So 1432 was one of the first dance movies in Ghana. And it had people like Ziggy, Dance God Lloyd, Illy Boy, you know, all the big dancers.
So what you're going to do for me is, after this, just give me a list, right?
Absolutely.
It takes me a while to watch movies, but I will watch.
Sure.
Okay. Also because of, you know, how I can tell that you're dedicated to, you know, your craft. I want to take a look at it. I'll be coming to watch Detor on Thursday. I'll be there. But Jennifer, I see, you know, from the T-shirt, I see a couple of people. I see Akofa Jenny Siedu. There's Adote in there as well, Fixing Owu. You know, how was it like working with all of these people, you know, being on set, tapping from years of, you know, knowledge and wisdom and skill?
Yeah, I mean, they are all humble people that you can actually work with. We connected really well on set. And you know, when you have people that are open to young ones coming up, like me, I'm not like I'm a young actor, but like I'm not known.
You're not on their level.
Yes. But they were able to come to our level, but you have to also up your game because they are way up there.
Else you'll be left behind.
Yes. They were so humble to like work with us. So it was very comfortable working around them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What are your expectations of the movie, Jennifer? You know, after its premiere, you know, what are you looking at for those who are coming to see it for the very first time and even beyond the premiere?
So I'm looking beyond like a lot of things, like beyond the whole thing. I know that people will come to watch to learn the history of our country, and it's good to learn from history to be able to correct the mistakes that our ancestors made
along the line, which will by extension impact the future.
Yes. So yeah, basically that's it. And I want to see a lot of African stories now, like for the history and everything.
Okay. All right, you've done one. You want to do 1,000?
Yeah, I want more. Yes.
Looking forward to that. Now, Mark, you mentioned that you've been to, you know, a few film festivals. You've won some awards as well with some creative works of yours, right? Looking at Detor, what do you want to achieve with it? You know, you've done the whole. You've put in the work from taking it from being, you know, just written to now bringing it to life. Beyond bringing it to life, right, and seeing everything come together, you know, what are you looking at for Detor?
Yeah, that's a very good question. it's easy to be satisfied with your achievements as they happen, you know. And first of all, getting the actors on board was a great achievement. Finishing the project was a great achievement. Getting it to premiere on Thursday is a great achievement. So there are many things that could make you feel that you accomplished. But you know, organized chaos, we don't sleep, we don't rest. We keep saying we'll sleep when we get to heaven. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to push Detor. We're going to push Detor onto the international market. We're going to try and make a name for Ghana and for Africa using this as a conduit. We're going to work with, we're already working with many people. A lot of the cast and crew are part of the team promoting this. And we have, yeah, we have our hashtag, we blow together. So 2024, we're blowing together. So there's a lot.
Amen to that.
Amen to that, you know. So we're pushing really hard for everybody, you know, and I think once we all tag along with the success, then we all achieve together. So Detor is here. We're going to share it and push it really hard and hopefully open doors for the international market.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Now, before I let you go, I would have you, you know, tell us, you know, the time that is showing, the venue, and then, you know, different showing times, if any. Sure.
So on the 21st of March this month, that's in a couple of days, we're premiering at the Snap Cinemas, which is at the AMA building behind the Octagon near Tema Station. We're going to have a 7:30 show, but there's going to be a green and brown carpet, you know, because we're going earthy.
Alrighty.
You know what I'm saying? So all the actors will be there to have a party before we start. So that's get there by 5:36, and then let's rock and roll into the 7:30 show. Then Friday the 22nd, we have two shows. We have a 4:30 and a 7:30, and then 3 shows on Saturday. And then on Sunday, the 24th, we move to Yarifa, where we'll show it at the Ozone Cinemas, and that will run indefinitely. You know, you can get tickets from us. We'll leave some tickets and information with you, but you can you can also buy them online. Star 714, star 11, star 12 hash, and
star 714 or star 11
star 12
okay
hash, and that will take you through the prompts. But now you can also get tickets at Maxmart, Koala, and Airport Shell. And Cofie Ghana.
Now you've mentioned, you know, showings in Accra. Are you looking at also considering, you know, that it's sort of skewed towards the airways, right? Are you looking at any showings in the Volta region and then beyond that across Ghana?
Yeah, so you're right. The story is about the Ngochi people who are what we have as airway people now, but we're telling it as a Ghanaian story, as an African story, you know, which has got history with the airways. So yeah, we're going to tour. We're going to show it all over the country where we can. And the premiere this week will determine how far we take it. So we want people to come out and support, and then we'll see how they receive it and then take it as far as we can.
All right, fingers crossed and best of luck with all of your plans.
Thank you.
Guys, this is the time to support. We've been crying and wailing for African stories, for Ghanaian stories, indigenous Ghanaian stories, and this is one of it. It's titled Detor. Matt Cofie, who is the director, and Jennifer Biney, who was an actress in Detor, had this conversation with me. Now, Matt lightly touched on, you know, the whole origin of what we or who we popularly know as Okomfo Anoche. I didn't know that he was called Achuchala. I had no idea. And so I will want to go see the film. You come out to Snap Cinemas. Let's have a great time on Thursday. And beyond that, you also mentioned a few places that is going to be showing that. And so, yes, please come out. Let's support Ghana made, you know, Ghana people, our very own Ghanaian creatives to go beyond Ghana. Okay, like the people we also see out there doing their thing. This has been Unpacking. My name is Lenny Lamote. You already know, your international TV and radio presenter living in Ghana at the moment.